morning. How are we doing? I'm not too bad myself. I'm currently on a long trek back home from... Is my helmet on the wonk? Currently on a long trek back home from North Wales. I had the train back from Bangor this morning. As you saw, it runs along the coast. It was like a pretty nice way to start the day, if I'm honest. And I got the train to Shrewsbury. It cost me £18.50. Got off at Shrewsbury and I'm kind of now 70k into a 180k ride home. And a lot of races in the UK this weekend are actually cancelled because of high winds. I'd already planned this. The wind isn't too bad, but because I'm going in the same direction, it does mean I am fighting a headwind for the best part of 6 to 7 hours today. Yeah. So let me give you a little bit of a rundown, because obviously I had to plan today's ride. I didn't just like get on a train and think, yeah, I'm gonna ride 180k today. Because 6 hours, or well, I estimate 6 hours 15. Yeah, 6 hours on a bike is a long time for anybody, like beginner, world tour, whatever. Like, because it's all relative, all depends how hard you're going. So today I've broken it down. The first like 50k was pan flat. Well, pan flat. That's a joke. When I looked at it, it was pan flat. When I got on the roads, they were very up and down, but I decided to do like upper zone 3 kind of sweet spot for basically that whole flat section. I knew I'd have the headwind, so I just had to press and just keep pressing. So my heart rate is around kind of 145, 150, bearing in mind my max is like 185, 190, so you know, we're kind of well contained. And then obviously coming down off the mountain, Newport Mountain, which is back there somewhere, that's it's a long kind of, it's one of those killer roads where they don't actually descend, they just like go down like -1% for like 10k. At least I can have a bit of a rest, so this is where my rest comes in really. I've got like maybe half an hour, 40 minutes of zone 1. I think this is what I love most about the longer rides. Particularly as I've got rucksack with me today, I can carry extra food. I'm in literally the back end of nowhere right now. I'm about, I'd say 10k from the top of the Sugarloaf, which is like 10k north of Llandovery. So I'm around 20k away from Llandovery, and then I've got like 50k from Llandovery or something. I've stopped every 2 hours so far, so we're 4 hours in. 4 hours in, 110k, 3,000 calories, 210 TSS, 28k an hour average, normalised power of 250, average 220, average heart rate 136, meters climbed 1,600. Just riding through Unported Wells. Smallest town in Britain. I didn't even know the camera was running. Not gonna lie, I am feeling it. Been on the road now 5 hours and the clock's just ticked over 135k. Got 45k to go, I think. And I'm in Llandovery now. So
just like one last stretch of like 15k of main road, and then back into the climbs to finish. Morning everyone, it's now the next day and I need to explain why I didn't end the video yesterday. You can probably guess why. But if you follow me on Strava, if you follow me on Instagram as well, because I did document some of it on Instagram, I had one of those days yesterday that everybody has once in a while where the lights go out. Well, let me explain. The lights didn't really go out. So the ride itself, like 6.5 hours back from Shrewsbury, I was like, I couldn't wait to ride back from Shrewsbury. It's not just the kudos that comes with it, or like, you know, just saying to people that, oh, I rode back from Shrewsbury, but it's just the fact that like you don't often get a chance to ride point to point when you're training. Like you do in races, but you don't really get a chance when you're training. And when the chance came around, I just jumped on it. So getting the train back and getting off of Shrewsbury and then riding back home was a brilliant idea, until the forecast changed. And this kind of Storm Gareth or something they're calling it kicked in, and it like brought like 20-mile-an-hour winds, and the wind was kind of going that way, which is directly the way I was coming back. So I didn't change direction all day, I just went in one straight line, which is pretty funny when I look back on it now. It is literally peeing down outside. It's the next day. I'm glad I'm not riding in it today because the wind is still up and now there's also rain, whereas yesterday it was actually like quite a nice day apart from the wind. But yeah, I took a packet yesterday, as a few of my friends would say. I took a packet, but you know, sometimes whether you like it or not, or whether you plan it or not, you will suffer. And yesterday was more of like a mental battle than a physical battle. I got to like, okay, for a start I had a rucksack on my back, which I know a few of you in the comment section go, why are you riding with a rucksack on, you stupid, blah. I've ridden with a rucksack on for years. Like I used to commute back and forth, like half an hour all the time, so an hour each day with a rucksack and stuff like that. I've had plenty of experience with rucksack riding. I've done touring with a rucksack, so it's not that. It's just that I had one of those days where, like for a start, like I started the ride off, I did 2 hours at Upper Zone 3. That's probably the most I've ever done in one block. But I did it just because of that headwind. Like I had to do it just to move. So I got to Newtown, got over the big climb, which you all saw on the video, and then I got to like down the descent. So for the first 3.5 hours I averaged like 30k an hour, but there wasn't a lot of kind of serious descending. It was just kind of like flat roads and then draggy and up and down. So there was no real kind of big descent for a couple of minutes that I could rest my legs or anything. So, you know, I was eating fine, I was drinking fine, and then I got to like kind of, you know, 50-60k to go. I got to Llandovery, and I could already tell that I was like, ugh. So after Llandovery, like, I was kind of going through, you know, these phases, and like this is why I wanted to pick my camera up today and just tell you about this, because it's worth showing you it, because I went through like, because you can relate to this now, I went through certain periods then of mindset where I'm like, okay, I can't do this, like I'm gonna have to stop, I'm gonna have to phone somebody to pick me up, I can't do it. And then like 5 minutes later you like switch back and you're like, no, I feel okay, I'm alright, I can keep going, another 5 minutes, I'm okay. And then like another 5 minutes, and then you go back to that other mentality, and it's like back and forth. That in itself is fatiguing enough, so before you even start to like, you know, incorporate the physical aspect of it. And it's the first time I've ridden over 6.5 hours, but of course being event specific, I would never do a race over 6.5 hours. So you could say it was completely pointless, but obviously I was just riding home. It was just a nice day out on the bike. So I got to Llandoilo, which is like 27k from home, and it's just kind of uphill and then flat and then downhill, uphill, downhill, uphill to back to Llanelli. And I was like, right, okay, I'm done, because I made the call purely based on like the numbers I was seeing on the bike. So like my TSS was nearly 300, my riding time was like 6.5 hours, my calories burnt was like 4,500, and it was just getting to the point where I was like, if I do actually make it back to the house, I'm going to be in such a mess that I'm going to pay for it today, so the next day, and possibly the day after that. So using my head, I just tapped out, and you know, I'm so glad I did now. But back like 6 years ago, if I was doing the same thing, I just would have, like, you know, more is better, I've got to do more, got to keep going. And like, I'm sure like we're all guilty of this, because I was guilty of it at some point as well, that I would just keep going, but it's not always the right thing. So hence why I just wanted to make this kind of after clip, just to keep it real, because it's not just like, you can't just keep going. It's not, sometimes it's just best to like put things into perspective and say, right, this is all I need to do, and I'm done.